The air at Wake Forest University on May 19, 2025, was filled with celebration. Graduates looked towards their futures. Yet a stark warning cut through the hopeful atmosphere. Scott Pelley, a veteran CBS News correspondent, delivered this message. He spoke not just to the students before him, he spoke to a nation facing growing challenges. His words quickly spread far beyond the campus grounds. They became a viral sensation online. They sparked urgent debate across America. Pelley's commencement speech was a somber reflection. He painted a picture of a country at a crossroads. He stated directly that freedom of speech is under attack. This was not a casual observation. It was a deeply felt concern from a seasoned journalist. He has witnessed the power of words for decades. He has seen how essential free expression is. It is the bedrock of a functioning democracy. The echoes of his warning continue to reverberate. A central theme in Scott Pelley's address was fear. He described an insidious fear spreading across the nation. This fear, he warned, was not abstract. It was tangible, affecting daily life. It was seeping into schools and universities. It was touching workplaces and public squares. This fear discourages open discussion. It stifles honest debate. People become afraid to voice their true opinions. They worry about the consequences of speaking out. This creates a chilling effect on public discourse. Pelley highlighted a growing fear to speak in America. This is a profound challenge to a society built on free expression. When individuals self-censor, democracy suffers. Diverse perspectives are lost. The marketplace of ideas shrinks. Decisions are made without full information. This fear can be exploited by those in power. It can be used to silence opposition. It can consolidate control. A climate of fear benefits autocrats, not Democrats. It is a tool to undermine free thought. He calls for a reaffirmation of the right to speak freely. Scott Pelley's speech also delivered a stark caution about truth. He emphasized the critical role of truth in maintaining a healthy society and warned of the dangers when it is compromised. He warned that power is actively distorting truth, using its influence to shape narratives that serve its own interests. This manipulation is not just a minor issue. It is a deliberate strategy to control public perception. It is creating and spreading false narratives, which are then amplified through various channels, including social media and news outlets. These falsehoods can spread like wildfire, reaching millions in a matter of seconds. It is attempting to redefine reality itself, making it increasingly difficult for people to discern what is true and what is false. This blurring of lines between fact and fiction is a powerful tool for those in power. This is a classic tactic of authoritarian regimes, which have long used propaganda to maintain control over their populations. By controlling the narrative, they can suppress dissent and manipulate public opinion. When truth becomes malleable, power becomes absolute. Those in power can then act with impunity, knowing that they can shape the narrative to justify their actions. Citizens lose their ability to make informed decisions. Without access to accurate information, they are left in the dark, unable to hold their leaders accountable or make choices that reflect their true interests. They become susceptible to manipulation, easily swayed by the false narratives that are fed to them. This creates a populace that is divided, confused, and unable to unite against common threats. This attack on truth is an attack on the foundations of a free society. A free press and an informed public are essential components of democracy, and when these are undermined, the very fabric of society is at risk. It undermines trust in institutions and in each other. When people can no longer trust the information they receive, they become cynical and distrustful, leading to a breakdown in social cohesion. Pelley powerfully stated, "Power can rewrite history with grotesque false narratives." This rewriting of history serves to legitimize the actions of those in power and erase the contributions of those who oppose them. He continued, "They can make criminals heroes and heroes criminals." This inversion of reality is a hallmark of propaganda, designed to confuse and demoralize the public. This is a chilling description of propaganda at work. It shows how easily truth can be manipulated and how dangerous it is when those in power control the narrative. When historical facts are twisted, we lose our bearings. Our understanding of the past shapes our present and future, and when that understanding is corrupted, we are left adrift. We cannot learn from the past. The lessons of history are lost, and we are doomed to repeat the mistakes of those who came before us. We cannot understand the present. Without a clear grasp of what is happening around us, we are unable to respond effectively to the challenges we face. This manipulation serves those who wish to escape accountability. By distorting the truth, they can avoid scrutiny and continue to act in their own self-interest. It allows them to create a version of reality that suits their agenda. This manufactured reality becomes the accepted truth, further entrenching their power. It aims to confuse and disorient the public. A confused populace is easier to control, as they are less likely to challenge the status quo. The fight for truth is a fight for freedom itself. In standing up for truth, we are defending the very principles that underpin our society and our democracy. Section 4. Bastions besieged, attacks on journalism, universities, and law. Pelley did not mince words about the specific targets of these attacks. He asserted that our sacred rule of law is under attack. Alongside it, he named journalism and universities as institutions under siege. These are pillars of a democratic society. The rule of law ensures fairness and accountability. Journalism provides citizens with information. Universities foster critical thought and innovation. When these institutions are weakened, democracy itself is at risk. This is a serious and direct threat. The attack on the rule of law is particularly grave. It means that established legal principles are being disregarded. It suggests that laws may be applied selectively. It implies that some individuals or groups may be above the law. This erodes public trust in the justice system. It creates an environment of uncertainty and instability. Pelley's use of the word sacred underscores the importance of this principle. It is fundamental to American identity and governance. Its erosion signals a departure from core democratic values. Section 5. The Presidential Press, Trump's Second Term, and Media Confrontation. Scott Pelley's warnings gained particular resonance due to the political context. His words echoed through the corridors of power and the newsrooms across the country, highlighting the growing tension between the press and the presidency. Donald Trump had returned to the White House in January 2025. His re-election was a polarizing event, stirring both fervent support and intense opposition. His first term was marked by frequent attacks on the media. He often labeled journalists as enemies of the people, a phrase that sent chills through the industry. His second term appeared to be continuing this pattern, perhaps with greater intensity. The confrontations were more frequent, the rhetoric more heated, and the stakes higher. The news industry was already facing significant challenges. Declining revenues, the rise of digital media, and the constant pressure to deliver news faster than ever before were just a few of the hurdles. These challenges were now compounded by a hostile administration. The relationship between the press and the presidency had never been more strained. This set the stage for Pelley's pointed remarks. His speech was not just a critique, but a call to action for journalists to stand firm in their duty to inform the public. His speech was a reflection of a growing unease. Journalists were increasingly worried about their ability to report freely and without fear of retribution. President Trump has taken concrete actions against media organizations. He has sued ABC, alleging defamation and seeking to silence critical voices. He is currently pursuing a massive $20 billion lawsuit against CBS, Pelley's own network. This lawsuit is seen as an attempt to intimidate and financially cripple the network. Such lawsuits can have a chilling effect. They consume resources, divert attention, and create an atmosphere of fear and uncertainty within news organizations. They can intimidate news outlets into softer coverage. The threat of legal action looms large, influencing editorial decisions and potentially leading to self-censorship. Trump has also barred the Associated Press from certain official access. This unprecedented move has raised serious concerns about press freedom. This limits the ability of a key news service to report on the government. It hampers the flow of information and undermines the public's right to know. These are not isolated incidents. They represent a broader strategy to control the narrative and suppress dissenting voices. They are part of a strategy designed to weaken the press, consolidate power, and reshape the media landscape in favor of the administration. Section 6. The MAGA Echo Chamber, Backlash, and the Price of Speaking Out. Scott Pelley's speech, though not naming Trump, was widely interpreted. Many saw it as a direct critique of the president and his supporters. The reaction from MAGA faithful was swift and strong. They lashed out at Pelley online and in conservative media. They accused him of bias. They claimed he was part of a liberal elite attacking their leader. This backlash illustrates the deep divisions in American society. It shows how difficult it is to have a nuanced public conversation. Many conservatives criticize Pelley on a specific point. They argued he was complaining about free speech being under attack, yet he was freely giving a speech at a major university. This criticism, however, perhaps misses Pelley's broader argument. He was not necessarily saying speech was being suppressed at that moment. He was warning about a growing climate of fear. He was talking about systemic pressures affecting many others. Section 7. Conclusion: Defending Democracy, a Call for Dialogue and Courage. Scott Pelley's speech was more than a diagnosis of problems. It was a heartfelt plea for unity and understanding in a time of division. He emphasized the importance of recognizing our shared humanity and the need for open, honest dialogue. It was also a call to action. Pelley urged everyone to step out of their comfort zones and engage with those who hold different views. He stressed that meaningful change requires effort from all sides. He urged the Wake Forest graduates and, by extension, all Americans to engage. He highlighted the role of young people in shaping the future, encouraging them to be proactive in their communities and to use their voices for positive change. He told them, "Your country needs you." This was not just a call to patriotism, but a reminder that democracy thrives when its citizens are actively involved and invested in its processes. This is a powerful reminder of civic duty. Pelley's words serve as a wake-up call to those who may feel disconnected or disillusioned with the political system. Democracy is not a spectator sport. It requires active participation. Voting, attending town hall meetings, and engaging in civil discourse are all crucial components of a healthy democracy. It demands that citizens be informed and involved. Staying updated on current events, understanding different perspectives, and being willing to engage in difficult conversations are essential. The threats Pelley outlined are serious. They include misinformation, political polarization, and attacks on democratic institutions. These issues have the potential to undermine the very foundation of our society. They have profound implications for the future of American democracy and civil society. If left unchecked, these threats could erode public trust and weaken the democratic process. One specific area Pelley touched upon was the administration's stance on diversity. He expressed concern over policies that seem to undermine efforts to promote inclusivity and equity. He noted, "Diversity is now described as illegal." This statement reflects a troubling trend where efforts to create a more inclusive society are being challenged. Equity is to be shunned. This rejection of equity initiatives can lead to greater disparities and social tensions. Inclusion is a dirty word. Such rhetoric can alienate marginalized communities and hinder progress towards a more just and equitable society. This critique points to a broader cultural shift. It suggests a move away from values that many believe are essential for fostering unity and understanding. It suggests a rejection of principles many see as vital for a just society. This shift could have long-term consequences for social cohesion and equality. Attacks on diversity, equity, and inclusion, DEI initiatives, are part of a larger pattern. These efforts often seek to limit the scope of public discourse and silence dissenting voices. They often accompany efforts to narrow public discourse. By restricting the range of acceptable viewpoints, these attacks can stifle meaningful debate and hinder progress. They can marginalize certain voices and perspectives. This marginalization not only harms those directly affected, but also weakens the overall fabric of our democracy.